Hello and welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video I'll be showing you how I built this full-size luxury shower from start to finish inside my luxury camper van conversion. Let's jump straight into it. Now the back wall of the shower is made out of 12mm ply. The reason I use 12mm ply is to stop it flexing when I actually finish building the shower, thus preventing any form of leaks. You can see here I've already put one batten up. This is 38mm by 32mm. I'm going to use these battens to build an entire wall this side. So let's do that first. So here's the studded wall that I've just constructed out of 38 by 32mm studding, and it's mostly held together with using pocket hole screws. I'm a big fan of these pocket hole screws. They really are strong and they work wonders, as long as you've got room to put them in. So this is what it finally ended up looking like. There's a solid wall there. You can see down the bottom here a little mouse hole. This is for all the plumbing to come through and go underneath the shower tray. This join down here is absolutely perfect. I've used a really strong adhesive all the way down here to make sure these panels do not come apart. Yeah. The other side I haven't done yet, but I will do later on. I may even leave a little cut out here so when the kitchen sink's there I'll have somewhere to put soap and stuff. There we go. One wall down, one more to go along the shower tray. Right underneath my shower tray you can see it's nicely supported. There's the hot and cold water pipes there and there. This conduit is for the wires that are going to run from my alternator or my main battery, and these wires are going to go through the conduit all the way along here, through the kitchen cabinetry to my power pack. Now I can't drill through the floor of my van because I have a huge fuel tank directly underneath here, so I need to divert the waste from my shower again along. It's going to come along here and down into my grey tank, which is represented by that square bit of masking tape there. It's a little bit messy, but we're getting there. So before cutting a hole in my shower tray, I decided to have a little practice run. It's taken me 3 attempts to actually get this right. It's really nice and flat, so the water's not going to pool up around it. Water will simply fall down into my waste trap. These two were just experimental. The third one is absolutely spot on. So this is what the shower tray looks like before I fit it. You can see I've now made the hole for the drain, and I've also treated the bare wood with phenolic paint. This is phenolic ply. And I've done all the edges that I've cut again with phenolic paint to stop any water ingress or any damp getting into the grain of the wood, just in case. Probably doesn't need it, but I've done it anyway just to make sure it stays good for the next 50 years. Well, there's my shower tray all down waiting for the glue to dry. I've put these 2 big heavy duty AGM batteries on there to make sure it doesn't move whilst the glue sets. I've put a nice big bead of glue all the way around the edges to make sure there's no gaps or cracks appear later on. Well, it's now 2 days later, and as you can see the floor is dried. It's absolutely solid, and I've started to build the second wall. And again I'm using 38 by 32mm battening. This is pretty much the whole structure here. I will be covering this with ply, and to make it really strong I'll be adding another wall here, and that will stop any of this sort of movement. And then once I've built this wall, I'll then add my roller door. Now before gluing this 12mm piece of ply in place, I've actually marked where I'm going to drill pilot holes. I'm going to drill them from the back to the front, thus minimising tear out on the back where it makes contact with the battens. This is the third wall up now. It's only single skinned. There is no back to this. I'm going to leave it like that up until I get the plumbing fitted. All the pipes are going to be coming up here behind the driver's seat. Even though this piece of 12mm ply has made this a lot more solid, I still want to put another thick post down here and build a little bit of a wall coming across here in preparation for when we get the sliding door. So here we go, this is the only front wall we're going to have. You can see the battens are really strong and substantial. This is going to make it really strong. Now that it's ply lined and this is super strong now, that really is a solid wall. That's going nowhere. Now before I put the threshold along the shower tray, I need to finish off this post here and also finish off paneling this here, so that's next. To do that I'm simply going to use this, again it's just the same timber as the battening that I used on this side, so it's the same thickness, but I've sanded the edges down. I've made it a bit of a wavy edge on the edge there to make it look a bit nice. Now all I'm going to do is simply glue this into place And once this is glued into place, it's going to leave a nice step here for this panel to butt up against, so when this panel gets put in place you won't see the edge of the panel. All you'll see is this nice piece of battening, and once this is varnished it should look really nice. Right, let's glue this into place. I've got my nice panel there, I've sanded it down, it looks nice. Unfortunately there's a little bit of a stain there, but that doesn't matter because we're going to paint this white. My pillar, it absolutely fits perfect. That edge is exactly how I wanted it to be as well. This is going to be varnished, it's going to look really nice. But most importantly, my threshold is now done. So this is 2 pieces of phonic ply glued together, then stuck down. This gives me a depth of 50mm, plus the door runner on top. It's going to give me 70mm deep. So if the water does pool up inside the shower tray when I'm having a shower, it's definitely going to go down the plug hole and not over the threshold into the van. So I've just added a new bit to the threshold. I've actually finished it off. This is like a fascia plate, so you don't see any of that phenolic ply anymore. And also it's a little bit raised, it's a bit above, you can see there. So this creates an L channel, so the sliding door is going to fit up against this inside here, and it just looks a little bit neater, I think. Now I've already primed the interior, so what I'm going to do now is tank it and make it waterproof. And to do that I'm going to use this tanking kit that I brought from Screwfix. So here's the first tanking strips all down. All I've got to do now is up the sides and everywhere else, every corner basically, all the joins have got to be covered in this tanking bandage. Well, that is it. That's me tanking done. So now the tanking is all dry, I've laid the floor. You can see I've used a bit of lino. I've cut it to shape, I still need to glue it down yet and cut a plug hole. Well, this is what it looks like now. I've glued the lino down. You can see the indentation there where the drain is going to go. That's because I was pushing it down to see how flexible this lino is, and I think we're going to be okay. I'll put plenty of CT1 in all the corners and around the edges. Hopefully this will be waterproof. So all I need to do now is put the sides on. So this is what it looks like now that I've lined it. Hopefully it doesn't look too much like a sauna. Still got to cut a hole out for the drain, and I've also got cut holes here and there for the actual shower head itself. I've used CT1 to seal this. As you can see, it's nice, it's neat, it's absolutely perfect. And apparently CT1 you can paint over it. So I've also filled in the gap that was up here between the ceiling and the side panel. I shall repaint these later on. This is the shower kit that I'm going to be using inside the camper van, and to plumb this in I'm going to be using 1/2 inch to 15mm push fittings. It's simply going to pass through the wall like this. These fittings are then going to screw onto the back, and this is the back side of the wall, like that. Really simple, really easy to do. It's like now that the shower's actually in position, as you can see I've got this nice rain shower effect, and the nice thing about this is it doesn't come down and bend down like a lot of showers do. So it's nice and flush with the ceiling, giving me plenty of head height. And the mixer taps are quite self-explanatory. One for the rain shower, one for the actual shower itself. On, off, hot and cold. You can see where it's plumbed in through the rear. It goes down and underneath the shower tray and to here, and eventually these will be plumbed in to the hot water system and the cold water system, and also pipes will come off of this and go up to behind the sink. I've now fitted the drain, and it's underneath the drain cover there is actually a one-way valve, and what this does is stop any smells coming back up through the drain. It allows water to flow that way but no smell to come back that way. And all of this is connected to the other side here. This is where the drain pipe comes out. I'm just waiting for the sink so I can connect the sink to this. That, by the way, is an expansion tank for the hot water system. All that remains for me to do now is actually fit a door. So I've fitted the door into the aperture, simply glued it in with CT1, that sealed it as well. This part of the frame is screwed in because this is where the roller cartridge goes. The rest of it is just glued in with CT1. So what I need to do now is actually replace the cartridge. As you can see, it's a really simple mechanism, which means if ever this gets damaged, it's really easy to change. Fantastic. Let's put this back in and we'll see what it looks like. And there you go. That is our shower door fitted, which means the shower is actually finished. Now there was one thing that gave me loads of anxiety about building this shower, and that was, how am I going to build a door? After all, this door needs to be waterproof. So I'm so grateful that I found the roll door system, because it makes it so simple. Took away all that anxiety and stress. So I will leave a link in the description of this video to Roll Door's website. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. Well, hopefully you found this video mildly entertaining, slightly informative. If you did, then I'm sure you'll find this video just as entertaining. Thanks for watching. Ta-ra for now.